Over the past 24 hours, one of the top things trending on Twitter has been hashtag DraftBaron, Barron referring to Barron Trump, President Trump's son. At the same time, a South Park writer set up a website, DraftBaronTrump.com.
Barron Trump has just announced that he has bone spurs. He had an MRI, and the MRI came back showing bone spurs.
Let's send ICE to be boots on the ground in Iran. They like to play soldier. Let's make it so. Because, unfortunately, Trump distraught as son diagnosed with hereditary bone spurs. We know he won't be going.
So wait a damn minute, let me get this straight. MAGA said this was not going to happen. You built an entire campaign around Donald Trump's ability to restore the world to peace. You said he would bring balance to a battered and burdened world. Peace wasn't a possibility, it was the promise. But now we are in an escalation? And you can pivot all you want to. What about all the times Iran has attacked us? The point is the promise. The point is the pledge. The point is that under his leadership, we should not be here. And a fact beats a fabricated future every single time. You can invent an alternate timeline where someone else causes catastrophe. You can spit out tonsil stones every time you speak, talking about, well, if we would have voted Kamala, she would have been much worse. Well, Kamala would have took us into World War III. She would have took Hillary Clinton, would have done this. You can speculate about scenarios that exist only in the imagination, but we don't govern from ghost stories. We judge based on measurable outcomes, and the outcome right now contradicts what you sold. You built a brand around peace, and just like a grand piano, once again, you got played. This manipulation is not new. This dishonesty is not new. This deception is not new. Each and every day, he shows you exactly who he is, and you convince yourself that somehow he is something else. You warned about the erosion of America while excusing the erosion of accountability. Occam's razor says that the simplest explanation is usually the best, but even that level of simplicity seems to be too complicated for some of you. You preached about strength while surrendering standards. You sacrificed decency, dignity, and discernment to defend a narrative that completely collapses under evidence. And let's be very clear, it is not about you. He attacks his own MAGA voices the moment that they express dissent. People he praises today will become targets tomorrow if they questioned him yesterday. He shreds allies who step outside the line. Loyalty is disposable when his image is at stake. If he respected you, his actions would reflect that. If he respected Republican members of Congress, he would have sought congressional approval. He controls the House and the damn Senate. And still, he does not pause to check in with you. Because this was never about you. You were never the center of the cause. He would push any dissenting supporter through a political meat grinder if it protected his political posture. You narrowed who gets to serve this country. You told trans Americans they don't belong. You questioned black men over hyperpigmentation. You keep disqualifying people who want to serve this country. So that leaves you. So all of you MAGA Facebook comment warriors, the men's hockey team, and Barron, Wonder Woman spin into your Confederate flag uniforms and go over there and fight. But also, it is not too late to admit that you sacrifice every ounce of decency and morality that perchance you once owned. It does not absolve the consequences of your blind loyalty, but it allows you to correct your compass. It allows you to choose country over cult. It allows you to stand on the side of history that seeks stability, sanity, and peace in the middle of cataclysm. Because if you continue moving the goalposts, defending contradiction, history would just categorize you accordingly. You said this would be the president of peace, but peace does not require this much defending.
Many Americans are fed up to, seeing that their children, their families are being sent to Iran for what, all for what, not for their benefit, not because these people came for them, not because of any other thing. And a lot of them are beginning to ask questions and also, scream out on social media and say, this is not what we told you to do. Okay, so someone said here, MAGA need to send their kids first when the mandatory recruiting actually starts, okay? That they need to send their children, right? That was what this person said. But how many MAGA is actually going to send their kids to this? I doubt, many of them are not even ready, and some of them who their kids are ready, they are already on social media crying out loud because this is like a tough moment for a lot of them. Well, guys, let me let the rest of the videos roll, then I'll come back with more commentary. But I'd love to hear what you have to say about today's video. Credit belongs to original creators of these videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, let's go watch it and I'll come back with more commentary.
Since Donald Trump has decided that he's happy to send scores of young Americans to perish in a war with Iran, that he's essentially started to distract from the Epstein files, the hashtag #SendBarron has become a big thing on Twitter, because it's like this idea of okay, if you want to start a war, we should send your kids to fight it as well, actually. While I am in favour of politicians, children or family members having to serve if they're going to vote for a war, I don't believe we should send Barron Trump for that reason. I think we should send Barron Trump because the kid's enormous. If you genuinely want an effective military asset to win the war, the kid is a colossus. Send him in. Trump family has its own version of the colossal titan, and it's Barron Trump. Parachute this enormous lad, he'll need several parachutes, into the battlefield. Within 2 steps, he's already reached Tehran. A few minutes later, and this is him squaring off against the last living Iranian general. The fact that Donald Trump sent an angry mob to attack the US Capitol in 2021, January 6th, when he had this absolute unit on staff, Barron would have ripped the doors off the Capitol building to let his father in. Just note, you're like, Barron smash! I'm in favor of hashtag send Barron, if only because the war would be over frighteningly quickly. I'm not in favor of this war, not even remotely, okay? I don't like anyone in this war, but I want a live stream of Barron Trump storming through the Iranian countryside, kicking over tanks and small buildings. 6'8"! Send him! Just my opinion, follow for more.
You know, I see a lot of Republicans online celebrating Donald Trump's war in Iran, and they're happy that it's going to continue for weeks, according to him, and yet none of them are signing up for the military. You know, you can go to the Army website and sign up and get deployed, right? Go do it. They're perfectly happy putting other Americans out there on the front lines, putting their lives in danger. 3 Americans have already died. But they sit from the comfort of their homes in the United States and type on their keyboards and say, yeah, war in Iran, let's keep going. Pathetic. Pathetic. These warmongers who voted for the peace president in a year completely flip and they're saying, yeah, let's keep going.
DraftBaron trends across social media as Americans suggest drafting Mr. Donald Trump's son, Barron. As the war rages on, yes, war. In the past 24 hours, this is across all social media platforms. DraftBaron. Hashtag DraftBaron. Unbelievable. It's really good. It all started as the South Park writers suggested this on DraftBaron.com. And this just took off as everyone is saying draft Barron. New polling shows that 27% of Americans favor this war and 43% don't. And a new poll, according to Reuters, is that Mr. Donald Trump is too quick to pull the trigger with the military. It just shows you that Americans are not happy about this. And he also did this without congressional approval. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if he actually is going to have to face the consequences to his actions with doing this. But let's see if the Republicans grow a spine. And with the Strait of Hormuz actually shut down, expect gas prices to soar, and we're all going to pay.
South Park writers just trolled Donald Trump in the most epic way by creating the DraftBaronTrump.com website. Now, if you missed it today, Donald Trump responded to the death of 3 service members by saying that we should expect more casualties and it's just the way it is. But he also added that the price we pay will be worth the end result. Well, Toby Morton, who was a South Park writer, decided to respond to Donald Trump by creating DraftBaronTrump.com. Now, on the website, it says, America is strong because its leaders are strong. President Trump proves that every day. Naturally, his son Barron is more than ready to defend the country his father so boldly commands. Now, understand, this is not a new phenomenon. Presidents have been trolled like this. The suggestion, anytime they send us to war, the suggestion is always, send your children, win to your children, sign up. But the way Donald Trump, how cold he was today in response to our casualties, absolutely warranted this response. Now, Toby Morton has done this before to Donald Trump, and you can bet Trump is going to see this and flip out.
We have some news right now. If you want to know how Americans are reacting to the war in Iran, well, over the past 24 hours, one of the top things trending on Twitter has been hashtag DraftBaron, Barron referring to Barron Trump, President Trump's son. At the same time, a South Park writer set up a website, DraftBaronTrump.com. Polling for the war in Iran shows that about 27% of Americans support the strikes in Iran, while 43% oppose the strikes in Iran, according to Reuters ISPOS polling. And a majority of Americans believe that Donald Trump is too quick to pull the trigger on military action abroad, whether it comes from Iran, Venezuela, or anywhere else the United States has bombed over the past several months. It's pretty interesting to see that there really is a minority of folks online who support the war, all while others are joking about drafting the president's son to go to the front lines. Spread the word. Follow along for all the news you need to know.
I'm going to go straight in to read the comments of this video. So someone said, now folks are waking up, now too late. The American voters who supported this man, okay, and his agenda are to blame. White men continue to, destroy the peace of the world, according to this commenter. And someone said, what is he talking about? Allies around the world. He ruined any allies we already had, okay? We can't even get liberated here. These people are just, whew. Okay, this one said, not fed up enough. Don't send your children. Trump not sending his own children. Then who is going to go? Because the truth remains, the billionaires are not ready to send their kids. The orange man, he will not send his kids. You are not also ready to send your children. So who is going to go? Then everybody has to sit back home. Okay, everybody will just literally sit back home if nobody is sending their kids. But somehow people's children are already there. I think I heard like 3 servicemen are already down. And that's very devastating for somebody who woke up, probably some of them are even married with kids, woke up in the morning, woke his wife and his kids and said, oh, I'm traveling, I'm going, and I hope I come back. They could even hold hands and pray and ask God for protection, and this happened. So people are already going through a lot for this. People are already passing through a lot for this to be another level of it. So people are not asking all the MAGA supporters that it's time for you to send your own children as well. Instead of other people's children to be on the front line, be the ones that will be going for this, it's time for your own kids to be on the front line. So this one say, this one said, this is a distraction from the Epstein files, okay? And look what's going on over here. This one said that this is all a distraction. They are trying to distract people from the Epstein. They do not want people to, look at the Epstein and the things that is happening with the Epstein anymore. Because people are, something have to happen for people to get distracted. Because just a few weeks ago, everybody was shouting, Epstein file is released. People are tired. People are like, oh, we can't believe his name was mentioned. We can't believe this billionaire's name was mentioned. We can't believe this person's name was mentioned. People are literally asking questions about the Epstein. And now, seeing all that is playing out is causing a lot of uproar on social media. In as much as everyone is not happy with what is happening, it is very important to also remember those who have gone on this, because they didn't actually plan all of this. I saw the video of them arriving and it was really painful to literally watch. And seeing the lady who said her brother is in Kuwait, I'm like, that's somebody's brother. These are people who didn't plan for it. I saw a video of people saying that some Americans are stuck in UAE, in most of this country, the Middle East. And I was like, whew. At this point, for everyone that voted for this, you need to ask yourself a very important question. Was it worth it at the end? I would like to know, seriously. Was it really worth it at the end? Anyway, guys, share your own take with me in the comment section. I would really love to read from you guys. Credit belongs to original creators of this videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I look forward to seeing you all on my next. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and see you all next time. Bye, guys.